All right, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I buymelikeme.com. Okay, you early, so am I. So am I. As we get ready to rock and roll on this wonderful Tuesday night where it looks like summer is trying to leave us here in Georgia. It's almost like it refused to go away. But let's just jump into it. We're going to talk about how to start a business in 2017. For real, for real, for real. No fluff, no BS. Just get into it. Speaking of for real, you got to be realistic. This is one of the things I've seen over the years that people hate their jobs. They're ready to chuck it. They're ready to tell the boss, take this job and shove it and let's move on. That is not realistic. I'm going to give you my little journey very quickly, the Cliff Notes version. I went through 3 jobs before I started my business, and I had enough sense to realize how hard it was to start a business because I had 5 that failed. So I knew what I went into it knowing what I was getting into. I had a firm understanding of what I was getting into. I remember there was a situation where I wanted to quit, but it wasn't time. So I had to sit down and formulate the plan. So I'm going to walk you guys through my plan and hopefully it will help you. So let's see. I might be a little far away. Hold on a second. The 3 jobs, fast. I worked at one job to get experience because it was the best job I had. Took that experience, leveraged to another job. Took that experience from that job, leveraged to another job. Then went out on my own. I did not go out on my own without a plan. I did not go out on my own with no money. There are many people. The reality is, if you have no skill sets, you have no money, you have no resources, you're going to probably have to keep a job for an additional year or two. Now, the video is titled How to Start a Business in 2017. What you do is start planning for your 2018. And doing that is putting some chips up. And for those of you who need a little help with that, putting some chips up, planning, take advantage of my $299 special where you get 1 year of Culturally Hustler. That's the success group, 100 Days of Success. And you get Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. You get that, the whole platform. And you get the Gumroad catalog. You get all that for $299, one payment. It's a subscription, but you won't have to pay again for a whole 364 more days. So you're going to get way more value than that in this coming year by getting that package. Link is under the video. All right, so let's get back to this realistic thing. Now, if you're in a position where you can sell your car or you're very close to paying it off, do so and keep it. If you can sell your car and get a hoopty, do so. This is crammed down, realistic, doing everything we need to do to get that business up and running. Now, what's happening is this is going to require a certain level of accountability. And I hear it all the time. Glendon, I want to start a business. Okay, what are you doing to start a business? Well, I'm watching videos. I'm reading blogs. Okay, what are you doing to start a business? That's research. None of that stuff is in the realm of starting a business. And then I get that blank hoo-de-hoo stare, right? Okay. Preparing to start a business is starting a business. And one of the things you have to do is get your financial house in order. And one of the things that happens is people come to this channel, right? And their financial house is in absolute shambles and they're looking to correct that in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days with a business. That's about as stupid as having a baby to save a marriage. You need to fix the marriage first to have the baby. You need to get your money together before you start making more money. Trust me on this. Trust me. This is for real. And let's take this year. Let's say 2018 is your year of emancipation. What you're going to do is you're going to sell a car. You're going to get rid of cable. You're going to cram down from Verizon to either Cricket, Boost, whatever it is, the cheapest plan that you can get. You're going to get rid of cable. You're going to get rid of maybe Netflix. You're going to get rid of all this stuff, and you're going to create a budget because you're going to strip out all of the fat, get rid of everything, and anything that is not absolutely mission critical to, you're paying your mortgage, your rent, whatever, you save. You completely save. Irvin Thomas, I have 2 cars, one don't run. Okay, do you have insurance on both of them? Because if you have insurance and you got a tag, you actually have expenses on something that can't serve you. So it just kind of depends, just really depends. But the whole point of 2017 is to get yourself lean, mean, fit for a business by getting your financial house in order. Now, once again, full disclosure, I did not start my business with no money. I had, money. I wasn't rich or anything, but I could go a few months without working. And also I had sales experience, which is something else that you should take this year to do, which is immerse yourself in sales or marketing or building traffic. Pick something you like. Or pick some you can do. Maybe it doesn't matter if you like it or not. And begin to focus and create a core skill set in something that is fundamental in starting a business. That's what you're going to have to do, because I got a program which is part of the live stream special, which is under the video, that's included. It's 30 days to $2,500. Not 30 days to $1 million, not 30 days to 100,000, but 30 days to 2,500. Most people, if you bust ass, you can do that. Now, can you go 30 days to 100,000? I know you've seen the Facebook ads. I mean, you've seen the blog post, and most of these people were already well positioned, because some of them aren't lying. They're being 100% serious. But what they're not telling you is it took them 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 years to have that $100,000 month. They've been working the whole time. And that's one of the things that people don't really go into detail on. You know what I mean? And be realistic, set big goals, but set stages. Psychologically, we can only deal with 10 to 15% change, good or bad. And after that, we start freaking out. Humans, we start freaking out. Stupid human tricks. So you can have something good going on, but because it's such a big change, marriage, having kids, buying a house, divorce, death, big changes cause people to freak out. Starting a business is one of the fastest ways to mature an immature person there is on the planet, because a business forces you to expand who you are, expand your bubble, and expand your perspective, because you can't be you unless, your business is you're a celebrity or something like that, and be successful. Now, sales, marketing, learn how to do traffic. Those are core skills that will help anybody with any business. Doesn't matter if it's online, doesn't matter if it's offline. If you can sell, if you can market, if you can build traffic, you can make money. Doesn't even matter. You don't even have to have a product if you can sell and market and build traffic. That's how important those skills are. Jeff M., how did you discipline yourself with finances? It's called being homeless. I wasn't always thrifty, and I wasn't always on my money like I should have been. And I had a situation, got divorced, ended up homeless for a spell. And the reality is I was supporting a lot of people. And that's I was never one of those people to spend my money crazy anyway. Even when I was in the military, that's just not me. But I always had people surrounding me that needed, to need more people. So I was never able to stack any cash because I was supporting people. So even with that said, because I've looked back, because, when you fuck up, and I fucked up, you have to take accountability, and that's okay. What could I have done to make that not be so bad? At one point I had 3 jobs. Now, if I had been a little bit more authoritative in the households versus all of the checks going to the family lifestyle, if I had taken my job at Cobb General, it was like, and this was a long time ago, but it was like $180, $200 in a weekend. And I worked 2 weekends out the month. If I just took that and just banked it in a special account, I probably would have been fine. So it's not how much you make, it's where you put it and how you handle it. And after going through that process, I have I went through to a point, and I'll tell you when I realized early on. I had left the boarding house, right? And I was living in East Point, a place called Jefferson Park. Lovely historic house. It was beautiful. My rent was $1,000, and I was making enough money to pay the rent, and even have money left over. But I realized what could happen, so I went ahead and got a roommate when I didn't have to. He was paying 500. So I learned to be thrifty with money when I didn't have to. That was one of the biggest changes that came from that experience. So that's what forced the discipline, because I know what can happen. I mean, seriously. Glendon, have you read or listened to The Automatic Millionaire? No. I don't like The Millionaire Next Door and The Automatic Millionaire. I don't know the book, so I can't slam it. But see, this is the thing. The Millionaire Next Door is a book to make people feel real good about getting rich or close to rich extremely slow. They're not flashy. They buy suits from J.C. Penney's. Okay. I live in one of the most expensive. I live next to four of the most expensive zip codes in Georgia, right? With the highest incomes. I am literally surrounded by millionaires, and I'm telling you, they don't live like the people in that book. They just don't. I see Ferraris every day. I see Porsches, and I saw these people, because I've lived here long enough, that during the recession, they're the same people, and they didn't lose shit. So it's good and it's bad, because to me, and this is just my opinion, the fastest way for you to become a millionaire is for you to create a business, which means create a product or service where you can serve hundreds, thousands, or even millions of customers, and you'll get your millions much quicker than, quote, the millionaire next door. Is there a certain time frame when you should acknowledge that the business is failing? If you cannot see, this is another thing. This is a good question, Louis. There's a lot of venture businesses, right? Venture is Amazon. Venture is Uber. These businesses that got tons, millions, in some cases close to billions of dollars of funding, and they were able to get to office, hire people, and do all this other stuff. Those have led people to make some bad decisions. If you're starting, because this is my advice to you in this video, start a hustle first. Whatever you want to do, start a hustle doing that thing on the side first before you quit your job. And number one, see if you like it. Number two, see if you can do it, because everyone's not good at certain things. Number three, see if you can start stacking some racks, because if you can't do it part-time, you surely can't do it full-time. And the time frame, you should be making money within the first week or the first 30 days. If you're not making money in the first week or first 30 days, potentially there's some problems, or you don't know what you're doing. There's a whole bunch of things. So that's my opinion. What's up, Lamode? What's up, Coco Covered Muscles? Music and lyrics. What is your outlook on keeping cash in the bank? All right. I believe in gold. I believe in silver. Do I think that the dollar's going to crash anytime soon? They're going to prop that bitch up. And you know why I know they're going to prop it up? Because we have the biggest air forces in the world. The Air Force is the largest air force in the world. The second largest air force is the Navy. Long as we have that mighty military, that dollar it can crumble, and there'll be spikes, but is it going to crash? No. So you can leave your money in the bank up to $250,000. There's a lot of people who are preppers. I'm not going to say that they're wrong, because there's things going on, but you leave 250 grand in the bank, you're covered. Plus, it really depends upon your situation, because that's a complicated question. What are you doing? Do you have money saved? Do you have retirement? So there's a lot of things. Let's see. What is your outlook on keeping cash? Oh, let's see. Matthew. Oh, damn. Got laid off, but I've been working like crazy to build up my freelance and get clients. Now, aren't you glad I had you go out and cold call people? See, this is the thing, and this feeds back into what I just said about building your hustle. And because like Matthew, this has happened to a lot of people. There's so many folks I can name. There's Morris. There's a dude named Lewis, Susie, people who came in, start doing some hustling. It was either storage auctions or something else. They got laid off, but since they did not have to start from scratch, because see, this is the thing, going back to creating your hustle, prepping for your 2017. If you get yourself a hustle that takes 25% of your time, right, and you're making $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month, and you get laid off, you can quadruple that money in a very quick fashion, really, really quickly. But see, the thing is, what most people don't do is they don't plan for bad times. So when bad times go like, and they're like, the monster's eating me, right? So start your hustle today. Start something, whatever. And don't ask me what's the best hustle, because all of them are good. It just depends on how good your hustle is. You're going to put some shine on it. BuyMeLikeMe.com. Work on Super Learning, Chapter 7, Chapter 8 will create my own program. Business choice wise. What would you start if you were to go back with your current knowledge? Honestly, if I was to go back with my current knowledge, I would open up a chain of gun stores and liquor stores. I would be trying to be the Uber of liquor stores and gun stores. I would do, liquor stores, gun stores. I would get into oil, stuff that people need in good times and bad times. I would get into vices. That's what I would do, because I always wanted to own a gun store. And because what I know, knowing what I know now, because gun sales have skyrocketed like 10 years in a row. I mean, people may not want a gun store, but some people are going to buy their guns. So, yeah, that's what I would do. Kevin Lubin, do you think it's possible to start a business while having a child on the way? Yeah. Yeah. What about a franchise? I don't know anything about franchises. Have no clue. Matthew Campbell, your products and videos saved my ass. I have it planned as soon as I got home. Congratulations. See, this is the thing about hustling. Let's say you have a little hustle and it's $500 a month, right? It's just a little hustle. It's a baby hustle. Wah, right? If something happened like what happened to Matthew, what happened to Morris, what happened to Susie, what happened to Carol, what happened to Percy, you're not starting from scratch. You're not starting from scratch, because Matthew is is an SEO guy. He could go out and, since he doesn't have a job and he's probably getting unemployment, he can go out and start. And in a month or two or maybe 3, replace his income with freelance work. But see, he's not starting from scratch. I started from scratch the last time I got laid off. I had no hustle, no money, no hope. And I was just like, damn, I got to figure this shit out. And I mean, it is what it is. Jen Saucedo, what if your business is seasonal? Start 2 or 3. Strip club, Viva 8. I would not start a strip club. Just me. I'm not a club guy, and I'm a firm believer in starting businesses that you have an affinity for. I have a partner. If he started a strip club, he'd probably been successful because, he spent plenty of money in them. But, the deal is, because I've got notes here, because you got to prepare for war. Think of starting a business as if you're going to war, and you've got friends, family, and foes. Everybody's trying to stop you, because when you are Joe Regular, right, and you're like, hey, I'm going to start a business, and everybody is used to you being Joe Regular, and Joe Regular doesn't start a business. Who the fuck are you to be starting a business, Joe Regular? And people tell you that to your face. Folks will laugh to you. So already you've got doubt. And then you already have your internal demons just going, can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Chatter, 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 chatter. Mental energy burnt is seriously rough on people. So you go into war. You got to have ammunition. You're going to need some cash to live on. You got to have cash to live on. That's why I'm saying keep your job, pare down your expenses. And if you go into war, what's one of the best ways to get intel? Become a spy. How do you become a legal spy and not have to worry about getting shot or going to jail? Whatever business that you want to start, go find a job in that business. You get paid to learn. Think of it that way. You get paid to learn. Like if I wanted to do weed, if I wanted to sell weed, right? If I wanted to be a weed entrepreneur, a weedaneur, my ass would be moving to Colorado or Cali because that's where it's at. It eventually will filter to all 50 states because there's so much money. But if I wanted to get in at the, during the gold rush stage, my ass would be living in Colorado. I would find a weed shop and I'd be like, and I know that it would probably be a 2 or 3 year apprenticeship because there's a lot of things about it that you got to know to run a full-fledged operation. So you become a spy. If you want to open up a car dealership, go sell cars. If you want to open up a liquor store, go work in the liquor store. If you want to set up a taxi cab business, hire yourself out as a taxi. If you want to be a YouTuber, start creating videos. I mean, it's just you got to really put yourself in the spot to become successful. Kirker Dean. What do I have to do to have you as my mentor now and pay you once my hustles are bearing fruit? Okay. I mentioned it early. The special 1 year Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, 1 year of Culturally Hustler, and the Gumroad catalog. And everybody that's buying the year specials, I'm giving a rate on consults, which will start early 2017. I don't have the bandwidth to be anyone's personal mentor right now because I have this channel that I'm running. I'm running 2 groups and I'm starting another channel, and I've got clients that I'm still working with. So there is no, I mentor you now, you pay me later. It's just not in the cards. Jihad Powell, dead broke, thousands in debt, suspended license, fam to feed, staying in a hotel, some technical and computer skills, only income is from computer repair. Depressed, what would I do? Days left in this hotel. All right, you ain't gonna want to hear this. Go to, I don't know where you are, but if there's like a local labor pool, be the first one there every morning. It's a lot of money? No. All right, because the thing is, you have too many issues to even be trying to start a business. You got to balance out, level up, and get stable, because everyone you jump on, your desperation is going to peek through like some crazy lady looking out the window like, oh, there's somebody on the street. You got to go ahead and you may need to like bite your pride, move in with family, kiss some ass. I mean, this is real. I've been homeless. I already know what the shit is facing you. And you got a family. I went through it by myself. I would not want anyone to go through that. So forget about the business. You need to be getting a jobs, and then balance out and then come back to the business. Oh, Erica said the same thing. And let's see. We the newer, I'm telling you, it's the way I look. So true. Worked in the apartment industry and saw how much painting companies made, charged an apartment complex, started a painting company right after that. Jen, to teach online, do you suggest Udemy or any platform, beginner or self? Okay, let's talk about teaching online. All right. My name is Glendon Cameron, if you didn't know. You can go ahead and Google, and you can see that I have several books on Amazon, right? And you can creep down on this channel and see that I've been making videos since 2009, right? And you can see I have some courses at Udemy, and I have not one but 2 of my own platforms. I still have people who doubt me. Now, I'm not trying to piss on your parade, but you need to work on credibility and traffic first. Here's the big deal. Until you get scaled up, until you start making some money, it doesn't really matter what platform you're on. I would advise not against Udemy, because Udemy is a discounter. Udemy's like Walmart. So if you got $1,000 course, they're going to sell it for 50. I think they went back up, but work on getting known. Work on getting a name for yourself, because That's going to be more important. So forget about the platforms. Work on your course. Work on training people in person where you are so you can work out the uglies, as someone told me. And we will do that. Let's see. Chris Ortiz. Should I start investing in stock? I don't know. I don't know your whole plan. I don't know your age. I don't know your income. See, this is one of the reasons that I have taken a break from consulting, because many people, and I'm not saying you, but many people are looking for one answer to very complicated questions, and it just doesn't work like that. There's so many variables to that. Jen, so which one of your courses focuses on marketing and sales? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the cheat code here. I'm gonna give you the cheat code, the master key, right? If you don't want to wait, because this is the deal with Culturally Hustler. We're doing 100 Days to Success. Day 8 just dropped, and right now I'm doing mindset training, which is very, very important. And a lot of people just want, like, hey, leap over it. I don't want that. Just show me the money, right? But if you don't want to wait until we get to that, your best option is to get the bundle and go straight to 30 days to 2,500. That's going to teach you how to start a business from scratch. It's very kinky. It's very different kind of course, but it will definitely take you where you need to go. Irvin, what about t-shirt business for Christmas? Will I benefit from it? I don't know. All right. Actually, I do know. All right. Since I used to own a store, let me tell you how the seasons work. We are in fourth quarter. Now, when do you start getting ready for fourth quarter? January. I used to go down to the apparel mart here in Atlanta. That's a place you can go buy new stuff wholesale. They had apparel, they had furniture, and homewares. They would start doing the shows January and February for people to start stocking up. You're already too late, Playboy. I mean, you could probably hustle some shirts and make a little Christmas cash, but that's a hustle. That's not a business. And, what we're talking about is how to set you up for a business in 2017, how to lay the groundwork. London in the building. What's up? Louis, do you think using a blog as a sales funnel for future products actually works? Yeah, I did it. All right, this is the thing. Everything works. The question is, are you working it? And what I mean is, all right, just, Google me and you'll see I don't really have shit on Twitter. I don't even have a business Facebook page. I don't have any of that stuff, right? But what I'm doing is focusing on just a few channels, because, see, you only have so much bandwidth. And if I was selling if I was doing relationship advice, I would do a blog first. I would have some YouTube channels, but I would have a blog. And this is the reason. People have, and you go ahead and you put together that blog, and people will be able to find you for years. And it's the same thing with YouTube. But yeah, blogs work. OJ Jr. When selling apparel, do you think it's better to have your own website or eBay? Your own website. All right, this is the deal. You're on eBay, you are a commodity. On your website, you're a brand. Brands make more money. Quince 093 Williams. What's the best way to start a business for a young person starting off with zero? Start a service business. On this channel, there's a video that's getting a lot of heat. How to start a service business. It will hook you up. Okay. So that's the thing, because let's go back. You prepare for war. Cut your cut your budget. Because, see, this is the thing. If your lifestyle is competing with your ambition, your lifestyle is going to win. What I mean by that is you got to pay that mortgage, you got to pay that car note, or you won't have a house or you won't have a car. That's competing with your ambition. You get rid of that stuff. You give, it's like, a balloon taking off. You got too many bricks in that balloon, it doesn't get off the ground. Those bricks are all those obligations you have. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have strongly encouraged all of my male followers on this channel to build your business as soon as you can, as early as you can, before you get married and have kids. So when that woman comes into your life, it is understood that you are an entrepreneur. Because when you get married and you have a job, the expectation is your ass will always have a job, because that's how she came in. And I'm telling you, it's hard. I have a friend who's going through it right now. He has a halfway decent job. He hates it. He's been trying to talk his wife into starting the business. She said, "Oh no, you're getting close to retirement. You can't be rocking the boat." He's got a monster with that one. What do you think of handcraft jewelry online, a second generated income hustle? Google this. Origami Isle origami. Isle origami. Started off just like you said. Now I'll just give you the punchline. They did like 450 million in 1 year. Everything works if you work it. Everything works if you work it. Glendon, what about writing and food photography? Do I need to work under anyone just to get started? I would say in that field, yes, because that's part of the media, and media is huge. Let's go back many, many years back into time. And time machine wraps around. I started a furniture business because I had 2 years of selling office furniture experience. And now this is the thing. It wasn't just the job. I had connects. I had a really big order and I didn't have any money, right? So I go to the showroom, talk to, we'll call him Bart. And I say, man, all right, Bart, I know you don't know me. I have no credit. My business is new, but I showed him, I got this order. And he said, sure, I'll float you. It's like, sure. It's like, Bart, for real? Yeah. I remember when you did that Choice Point job. I know you were the lead on that. Sure, I'll do it. What do you need? Let me write it up. You know, I wouldn't have been able to do that coming off the street without that relationship. We're talking about $250,000 credit that he carried the note. He talked to the manufacturer and said, if I didn't pay, he would pay. You can't get that connection walking off the street. So you don't know who you would meet in the food industry, because the best jobs, the best opportunities go to people with those relationships. It's very hard to cold call your way into super secret, super special, super nice stuff. It's just hard. It's possible, but it's hard. Marry the woman that will support you in all your endeavors. Easier said than done. Lamo, the collaboration is a good way to get your name out there, and asking for some of my products to take pictures is a good idea. Lamo is a hustler. I mean, he's a polite hustler. I'm gonna give him that. He's a very polite hustler, but don't be fooled by that gentle. Another one, and this is to cocoa covered muscles. I had another deal, and I had the money, and I had to go to this place, and it was talk to the owner. I knew the owner because the girl that used to be my rep, she had left, and I went in and I said, "Hey, where is Sheila?" And he's like, "I remember you. I talked to him maybe 4 times, right?" But see, this is the thing: when you do big deals, people talk about you behind your back, but in a good way, in a very, very good way. And he's like, "Yeah, I remember when you did that. So what do you need?" "Well, I'm no longer with blah, blah, blah." "Oh, I heard. Yeah, they're kind of missing you." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah. I heard you took some customers." And he was like, "I did the same thing when I started this. You know how to play the game. You know how to play the game, Glendon." He called me Glendo. Yeah, he called me Glendo. And I said, "Oh, it's Glendon." "Oh, no problem. No problem. Sorry." And he sat there and gave me a line of credit. So if you're going to do something that's complicated or that's a brick and mortar type business, it is in your best interest, in the best interest of that business, for you to work in that field before you go off on your own. Because this is what's happening. When you're out here trying to hustle and learn and sell and market, you're operating in 4 quadrants. You're learning, you're selling, you're marketing, you're hustling. Now, let's remove learning. And your sales are better because you already know the product. It's much easier to do it that way. It's longer, but it's easier. Fiber love. He's on that weed, the strip clubs, focus on the money, and the women will come. Matthew Campbell, do you think it's worth it to also use Upwork freelance platform to get client work? Nope. I think, where you are in the country, hit the streets, talk to people, network, go to social media day, get your name out there, pick a really big client, someone that, everyone knows, and do the work for free, but lock them into a testimonial. It's like, look, I'll come in and I'll do X, Y, and Z for you, but I need this. Be blunt with them. And if they're getting benefit, they're going to do it. They're going to do it if they're getting benefit. Because it makes sense, Like I said, when Bart, sure, Glendon, I'll do that. I mean, it's just surprised the shit out of me because it was like that easy. I was like, damn, I wish I had known this a long time ago. All right, covered all that. And the final tip, immerse yourself in sales training. Hear me and hear me now. If you learn how to sell, it's going to make everything else that you do after you get those skills easier. Everything. Because you got to sell yourself to people. You have to, I have to sell myself to you guys watching this. You're always selling. And then there's a difference between selling and pitching. Pitching is like, hey, what do you think? People pitch me all day long. Someone in the comments was like, hey, what if I do your SEO for you? No, it's not going to work. That pitch is like, it's like a empty cup of water. I mean, it's maybe a little bit water in there. It's like, it's just not that appealing. So, you got to be really, really ambitious with that. Justin Winford, was your furniture business a brick and mortar? Yes. That furniture business I had an office. And then when I created the upscale garage sale with my partner, we started in the garage, went to the flea market, then we had retail space and warehouse space. When you're moving big items, you just don't have a choice. You gotta have space. You just got to. So yeah, definitely. That's why, I get all this stuff. Walden Marketing. My wife has been running a cleaning business for 12 years, gross $7,000. Can you help? Just depends. Does she still want to do it? And if she's working by herself, because it sounds like she's working by herself with $70,000. I had a cleaning business. That's why I'm like, so it really depends. I would say sit down, talk with her, because, for all you guys who want to bring your girl to the G-verse, there's some you should know. Either they really, really like me or they really, really hate me, and they'll start why are you listening to him? Because I'm like Morpheus of the Matrix. I'll set your ass free. And, with you becoming free, that might mean she might be bye-bye. So just saying. Have her watch the channel, see if she likes it. And then, I would say for you and her, the best thing, the most expedient thing would be 30 days to 2,500. And that's part of the special that's below the video, the live stream special. You missed a lot, Nick. A lot. Because I started this at 8. And it is I was early. I started at 7:59. I'm trying to be more prompt. Here. So you'll be able to watch it. I'm going to leave it up. Because that's another thing that I'm doing. I'm integrating the live streams with playlist. Because I'll talk about that more for the folks who want the video marketing stuff. But this is all about you. Leaving that job, starting your own business. She turned into Agent Smith. Oh man, that's hilarious. I've seen that happen. But seriously, you got to lean down so you can mass up. I mean, that's just how it is. That is how the cookie crumbles. That's how this thing goes. And that's it. So for those of you who want more, like I said, I might do some more streams this week. You won't catch me doing them on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Really, the new posting schedule is Monday through Thursday. So I will not be posting anything on the weekends. She turned She doesn't trust me because I failed at 4 other businesses. I mean, you can buy the package and y'all can go through it and see what she does. Because see, the thing is, because I was having this conversation with someone in Culturally Hustler today, that you got to do the work. Because if you don't do the work, you're not going to get the results. It's just not going to happen. So, bring her to the channel, watch some stuff, see if she, because the thing is, if she doesn't like me and I'm not trying to be like an ass or something, she's not going to listen to me. Been down that road. Matter of fact, I got a story for y'all. Gather around, gather around. This is good. This is one of those for people who want to do information marketing. What I do, I was dating someone, right? And she was an attorney. And, she was all kind of luscious and everything. And we got together really well intellectually because, she was a brainiac. But there was a problem. There was a little problem. Because she asked me, she was an attorney, right? So they got all that trickeration on those questionings, right? Because they can ask you the same question 20 times, but it's just worded differently. Except I'm a nerd, right? I'm a nerd. And whoa, you asked me that question before. You just used 4 different words, but it's the same question. I'm paying attention. I'm looking at your brown eyes. And I said that to her. It's like, you've asked me that before. And she's like, oh, I have? I was like, don't play stupid. You got a high ass IQ. And she just couldn't help herself because it was so different when you become an internet marketer. This was when I was selling a lot of storage auction books. And, we went out, we did stuff, and she came to my place. My place was nicer than hers. And she just could not get it in her head that I was, because she was just, one day she's just like, so you're able to afford all this by selling books? She was incredulous. And it just went, she couldn't get past it. I learned from that experience, chicks want to have, the ability to brag on you when they date you. And she's like, yeah, well, he does some stuff on the internet. It seems legit. I don't know what he's doing. He could be selling crack for all I know. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's how I felt. It's like, damn. Let's see. Is her baby but going nowhere? Yeah, I mean, she's doing all the work. See, she's working in the business. She's not working on the business. Boss ladies love Glendon, so yeah. I was raised to be a good, quiet little girl. Oh, I see the sass all up in that comment. Vibra 8 Love, I think he's dope. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jen Foy. But it got me nowhere. I now realize I must create to escape the rat race. Yes. Brian, she couldn't understand. Dude, I mean, if you've been in Atlanta, there's this place called Glenwood Park. And there was this restaurant called The Shed, one of those farm to table type places. And, there's always something weird going on there. But I like that kind of stuff, right? Sometimes. So we're in there. And this is funny as hell, right? I am that dude that will let a chick pay for a date. I have no problem with that. And we went out and she said, oh, I got it. And, I suggested Shed. Now, Shed was expensive. And she had wine and other stuff. So I was like, it's going to be about $80-90. Check comes, $92 without a tip. And then, we had this little conversation. I understand she's an attorney, makes about $250,000 a year. It's like, when I offer and the dude lets me pay, that kind of gets some demerits. And I was like, well, just call me Mr. Demerit today. Cha-ching. I was like, I didn't care. So she pays, and on the way home, it is like frosty. It's like, brrr. You need a big, thick jacket. Brrr. It was just thick. Then we get to her house. I pull over. She opens up the door. She tops out. She's like mad as hell. Like hopping mad. I mean, just ridiculous. And yeah, we went out again. After that, it was so funny. It was just like she came back for more. Oh, damn, you started the business? Let's see. Camilo. That word actually did come out. I'm not going to give you the context, but that word did come out. Vibra Love, yes. I started the business, by the way, Walden Market. Damn, she took your business? She took your cookies, man? Ray Perry, do you ship the books yourself or do you have them shipped for you? All right, Ray Perry, here's a quick tutorial on ebook. There were a lot of people, because I was selling a physical copy, right? And this was the golden era of Kindle and Create Space. I mean, seriously. I was getting checks from Create Space like anywhere from 4 to 8 grand from Create Space because I was doing a lot of physical books. And I did no shipping. See, from my eBay years, 2006 beyond, and just I leveraged the hell out of it. Create Space, this is how it went. Someone ordered the book on my website, right? And it had some manual labor because I didn't automate it. Someone would order a book, and I would wake up, I would collect my orders, and I would go to Create Space, and I would just order the book and ship it straight to them because Create Space would print it up and ship it to them. I never had inventory. There were people, haters, right? Oh, Glenn, yeah, buy those books because Glennon's got all those books in the basement. Glennon got all those books in the spare room. I'm like, I don't have any inventory. But see, this is a good question, and also because this kind of goes back to what I'm talking about. If you want to do something, get a job in that business because you'll know these things because everyone is kind of out there and they kind of think what I'm doing and stuff. And like I said, Ray, that was a good question. I never, other than when people wanted signed copies, I never shipped a book. Ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. I mean, I sold 15,000 books and I may have shipped 100 and those were signed copies. So disregard females acquire currency. That's crazy. Buy me like me. You should have let her know the steak was not real and introduced her to Neo. I wrote a book, The 6-Figure Uber Driver Need to Sell More Books. I mean, seriously, it's just a lot of this stuff. And this is why in Culturally Hustler, we're doing the mindset stuff. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a ton of free information. There's stuff all over the place, right? But it's not structured. It's not vetted. And unlike many folks here on the internet, I had businesses successfully out here in the real world as well as online. A lot of folks can't say that. This is funny. Oh, Siri's tripping. Siri's trying to get in the conversation because it's like, what the hell is that? But there are certain immutable principles of business that don't change whether you're online or off. You got to have something to sell. You got to collect the money. You got to have customers. I mean, it's just certain things that just don't go away. Vibra Love, would you ever write a book for women building businesses and relationships? You know what? I can answer that real quick. If you are a, quote, alpha woman, you need to find yourself a beta man. And that's it. Because you alpha and he alpha, that shit ain't gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So that's what you go. And I have a friend who, she keeps going on like, I'm not alpha. And I was like, okay, you make 4 times what he makes and you run shit. You're alpha. You may not like it, but you're alpha. And she's kind of chafing because he's not alpha. But she can't get alpha because she's alpha. If that makes sense. There is no spoon. Best books, courses on marketing. Everything by Daniel Pink. You can get it cheap. A lot of his books are old. You can get them super cheap on Amazon. Ray Perry, join the group and we can discuss that. Because go to createspace.com and they have everything there. They'll have all that stuff there for you. Because that's a long thing to repeat all over again. So it's interesting, but just start something and, start, tonight. You leave this tonight, sit down, write down some goals and create a budget. Figure out where your money's going because, manage your money, your money's going to manage you. There's guys out there who, NFL players, NBA players who were literally making millions 2 or 3 years ago and they're broke today. It wasn't a money problem. It was a management problem. So you got to do that. But for those of you who want to do the correct mindset, join Culturally Hustler. If you don't have the $299 to get the year special and all those other perks and stuff, cool. You can come in at $25 a month. Subscribe, friend me on Facebook, and I'll add you to the group. So you don't have to have a lot of money. I kept it on the low because statistically, 90% of the people who come in this channel need to make money because they don't have any. So using the information that I got from my analytics, I created a product that can serve the people who don't have a lot of money. That's business, right? That's business. I'm not going to change the price on you because someone asked, like, how long do I have to get in? And it's like, you got a while. I probably will change the price when I get 100 members. Maybe. I may not. So, once again, those links are below the video. And just for anyone who is curious, Hustler's Kung Fu is how to make money without a job. You can hustle, you can create businesses. That's the core of this channel. That's what we're going to talk about. 2017, once I get the rebuild done, we're going to get into some all kinds of sexy stuff. There'll be wonderful guests. There'll be new folks. You'll be getting tons of value for your eyeball currency. That eyeball currency is important. Ronnie, come on. Would you recommend staying on a job that you can make a lot of money, even if you want to be your own boss? Ronnie, that was covered earlier, and I'm going to go real quick. If you have a job that makes a lot of money, pare down your expenses, bank as much as you can for a year, then jet. You got a great problem. Nicholas Parkinson, 18 years old, starting a web app development business, made $1,200. Should I incorporate LLC or S Corp? Interesting question. How much money do you make per month? If you're only making money here or there doing LLC, but if you're making major money doing S Corp, it just kind of depends. Do you need Facebook? Once again, it depends. It kind of depends. See, for those of you who want to have conversations, and those are called consults, where we go back and forth and I talk about you and only you and your problems and nobody else's in a very intimate situation, that's called a consult. So everybody who buys the year special beginning in January, when I open up the consulting arm again, you folks will be first in line, and some of you may get your first chat free because this is going to be designed for beginning business people. They answer all of those questions to guide you through that process. So if that's something you want, and January is not that far away, go ahead, grab the special, because you will also be learning. And I'm going to create a questionnaire for folks who want consults. And that way it's going to be much more professional. I'm getting much more professional in 2017. It's kind of scary. I'm going back to my office furniture days. And so that's what you need, because you want to sit down one-to-one for an hour and whatever and talk it up and chop up your business. That's called a consult. And if it's a complicated question that's going to take 15, 20 minutes to answer, that is also called a consult. Part of my job to be your proctor, your guide, your Sherpa, as I guide you up the mountain of entrepreneurship, is to educate you. So when you are doing what I'm doing, you have the language and the terminology to talk to your audience. See, this is the kinder, gentler Glendon. So that's how that goes down. All right, let's see. How long have we been sitting here chatting? Oh, because I'm trying not to do it for an hour, and we're at 56. Well, let's see. That's the software. Yeah, 53 minutes. So once again, the live stream special is under the video. Go ahead and grab that if you want a year of Culturally Hustler and some other stuff, which is Hustlers Life Skills. Because someone asked today, like, hey, what is a cheap way to get a car? Actually, that's covered in Disruptive Circus, which is part of that special. So why do you recommend Daniel Pink over yours? Because it's more encompassing. My stuff is, like I said, it's broader. And one of the mistakes I made was I'm talking to people like they had my background, and that just doesn't work. It's like when people use shop lingo or industry lingo and you're standing around and you know what the hell they're talking about. That's called a friction in communication, or a failure to communicate. So It's just funny. What do you mean? Who comes up with all the names? What are you talking about? For y'all, for some folks, I have an artistic background. You know that, right? I'm a creative soul. I used to draw, paint, blow shit up in the kin in the art class. As they heard something like boom, and like, oh fuck, Glenda did it again. John Snow, how did you gain your selling skills from the beginning? Great question. I had some hustle skills, but I got a professional sales education at Rent-A-Crate, which was a job. They trained me. They sent a guy down from Boston to teach me how to use Goldmine for 2 weeks. Every day he sat there and walked me through it. I got a professional trainer. That's how I learned how to sell. That's what I'm saying. Get a job doing what you want to do, and someone else will pay you and train you at the same time. Is that called pimping? I think it's called pimping. You can pimp a job. Go in there with an agenda, with a mission. Get that money, get that training. Win-win. Everybody's happy. Everybody gets to come. I mean, come on. It's a wonderful, wonderful situation. My neighbor's 18-year-old son going to college started a power washing business after getting power washing as a graduation gift for graduation gift for graduations. Folks can do it. Yeah, folks don't want to do it. That's the big thing. BuyMeLikeMe.com. Thanks, Glendon. The best advice I got from you was writing the to-do list. Organizing speeds up the days. Yes, it does. Thanks again. Working on playlist now. Marissa Sampson. Do you have a payment plan for your courses? If yes, how do you go about it? All right. Only thing that's going on right now that's new is 100 Days to Success, and that's integrated in Culturally Hustler. It's $25 a month. I add you to the group. You start going through the process. 100 Days of Success is small daily tasks for the next, more than 100 days, because they're only posts Monday through Friday. And then after that, we start another thing. If you want the Hustlers Kung Fu life skills, I don't think I'm going to do a payment plan for that. It's like $2.99. You get all kinds of stuff for that. So that's where it is. But join the group, and I'll probably do something special for members in the group, because that's part of it. Like if you're part of the group, you're going to get discounts on certain things. So just join the group. Disruptive Circus is part of the Gumroad pack. It's in there. It's going to be not mindset. It's going to be part of, it's part of one of the 30 days, because there's 2 30 days to 2,500. There's the fast track, and then there's the original. But it's in there. I know it's in there. Okay, we're at an hour. Thank you, wonderful folks, for coming out. Be sure to get those specials under the video, and I will check you folks out later.